We're here, gonna come in your ear. We're here, gonna come in your ear. We're here, gonna come in your fucking ear. Thors-Kin. Hello.
Ooh, that was interesting.
Thors-Kin. Thors-Kin. We need to get someone to make us a jingle.
No, we don't. Just stop doing it. We do it every fucking week, and you don't tell me that you're going to do it. When I say, like, grab people's attention in the intro, I don't mean threaten to come in their ears. Like,
we do come in your ears once a week.
That is definitely going to grab people's attentions, but also probably the laws, so stop it. You literally, you don't want to be joining George Takei, do you?
Oh, no.
Ooh, I like the sound of this podcast.
It got brought to my attention that my yo, what's up, bitches is probably a bit cringy. So I thought, what could be more cringy than singing Gonna Come in Your Ear to metal music? So that was what was in my head while singing that. So anyway, welcome to...
Shame it didn't have metal music actually in the background. It was just you singing. It's like, it's like one of those things in films where, like, you just someone walks past the shower and they're singing really cringy in the shower. That was literally that.
Yep, that's my world, bitch. But in my head, I was at a rock concert at Wembley. Well, welcome to Thors-Kin. Anyway, we're not a show about the shoot of skin off the penis. We're actually a show about movies, gaming, whatever geeky in the world. And as always, I'm Alex, and I'm with my co-host James.
Yeah, man. Good to be here again. We've got an awesome show lined up. I think this topic-wise is probably going to be, on paper, one of my favourite topics to go through. My favourite podcasts at the moment, kind of thinking what we're going to be going through. So we've got Xbox One X has just released, so we didn't talk about that before, but might just take 2 seconds just going through that. Don't have one, so it's just off impressions, but we've got Call of Duty. We've got good old the gift that keeps on giving, the people getting done for harassment. That's like Pandora's box that is going to be a topic for probably another 5 months to come. We've got, what else have we got? Wow.
I want to suck Taiki Waititi's dick a bit as well, because I'm in love with him. So we'll be talking a bit about him later. So yeah, a lot to come. But first, how has your week been, sir?
Awesome. I've had a fantastic week. I feel like during my college days, basically, I spent a lot of time on a couple of games, getting massively into it. Didn't have a girlfriend, didn't have responsibilities. Not that I think it's better without a girlfriend who is away at the moment. So if you listen to this, don't take it personally. But I've been able to play online games, Alex.
There's a line, because I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, and there's a line in it where he turns to Skylar, his wife, and he goes, "Hey, can you take like 2 steps out of my ass just for 1 second? Just crawl right out of my ass." That's what that reminded me of. Babe, don't kill me when you get in.
Pretty much. But no, I've been beasting Call of Duty. Awesome game. Just the feel of it, it's taken. We were saying this before, well, not before the podcast, yesterday, that it's sort of taken me back to the Halo 3 days, or Modern Warfare 2, or Black Ops 1, where I just used to sit there just absolutely annihilating these games, like full progression, 100% in everything. And the last couple of days has just been me sitting down, playing Call of Duty, eating pizza, picking my ass and flicking it at the dogs, like literally just doing whatever I want. It's been an awesome few days.
Well, it's back in a big way, isn't it, Call of Duty? I mean, after the last one, Infinite Warfare, everyone kind of lost
disappointment.
They fell out of love with it, didn't they? Yeah, and yeah, well, they didn't fail, did they, this time? It was really good. I mean, I saw a couple of trailers later on because I wanted to be surprised, and the trailers, they look like the game, whereas sometimes they always spruce it up a bit, to make it look a bit better. But yeah, the trailers did the game absolute justice. It's really good. I mean, I think it's the best looking Call of Duty I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think we're getting to the point now where you've just highlighted a massive point, is that your games always get downgraded because they always show you the PC versions and consoles just aren't there. But they're getting into the nitty gritty now where, yeah, if you've got a Pro or an X, particularly the X, it's like you get a massively better experience, but the downgrade isn't seeming as much now, where like they're getting more and more out of these boxes. The textures are more in line of what they're actually supposed to be. The lighting is there, so you don't get this feeling of like, oh, Watch Dogs looks good.
Yeah, and then you get disappointed when you buy it.
Yeah, but yeah, do you want to go in? Seeing as we're talking about Call of Duty, do you want to go into it, or?
I've written a list of things to talk about, and Call of Duty is number 1. So yeah, let's go into it.
Number 1, mate. I'm
happy with it. I mean, there are a few problems to start off with, and I've been bashing it on Twitter.
Let's get the negatives out of the way first, because it kind of like the negatives. If you throw them in there, it could kind of detract from the whole thing, because they do, but still, that you should be walking away from this with positives. So, how's the servers, Al?
Bullshit. That's what the
how's
servers
them
are.
servers?
I've written down here. I've got a list. 2 things, right? And number 2 is for fucking servers. ... Suck a dick. That's what I've written. You just can't get a game, can you? Like, nothing works. I mean, you have supply drops. You press R trigger. It tells you what supply drops you got. You select them, and then it drops you like a care package in front of you. They didn't work yesterday. There's Major Howard. You're meant to go to his tent to pick up orders, like challenges to do during the games and stuff like that. They didn't work yesterday. Trying to get into a game, like if you were hosting a game and I was on your game, I didn't have any options. You didn't either, did you, when you came onto mine?
No, it was working for me for the most part, and then stopped working after a while, which tells me that it is all there. It's just, I was saying this, wasn't I, before, that Call of Duty reached a peak, and it's been in a steady incline, and they've been losing more players than most games get. Like, their decline has been absolutely ridiculous, but because they're so far ahead of the closest competitor, they are still miles ahead. And I've got a feeling that because of their steady decline, I read something that this has sold twice, or am I mixing that up with Assassin's Creed? I think I might be, I think it's Assassin's Creed, actually, that sold twice the amount of copies as Syndicate. But I think this one, just anecdotally, I think this one has got a lot more people on it and stuff, and I think the servers have, because they do like peer-to-peer servers, so gamers host the servers, but obviously it's got to run, I don't know how it all works, it's got to run through something somewhere their side, and I think it's kept up to date all these years, and then all of a sudden they've had this big boost, and it's like, oh shit, we can't handle it. And I think that's what's highlighted the problem, is that they've worked up until now, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, people want to play again.
The thing is, it's laggy as fuck. The menus don't work. You struggle to get a game with people. You know what I mean? The way what I compare it to, should I say, is say a supermarket's getting ready for Christmas. They pull all their workers in, don't they, to get it all ready to look good for Christmas. Make sure they get through that busy period. Like, release day for Call of Duty is like their Christmas, isn't it? Like, that's payday for them, right?
Yeah.
So they should pull everything together, you know? Make sure it works fine, because they are going to lose players. They're going to 100%. They're going to lose players because of this. Because I was getting impatient last night. I was like, "Fuck this game!" And then Jimmy was like, "Calm down, Alex. Have some patience." I was like, "It's not fucking working."
the thing is, the reality in the background is you can't always see those things until it's out in the wild. There's so many real world issues that cause these problems that it's like they could have tested that beyond any reasonable doubt, and they could have put that out with full confidence. And I was saying this to you as well, wasn't I? That game is polished as fuck.
It looks
like,
good.
The only thing that is letting that down is the servers, which tells me that they spent enough time on it. It's not all graphics. The gameplay's there as well. It's not all this, because the opposite is there. You know, it's like it's 99% there. It's just that 1% impacts 50% of it. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense, it's like this. It's like the weakest link letting the whole chain down. But when you do get a game,
Fuck me, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip, by the way, I put on the Thors-Kin page?
Everyone got to go check that. I watched that about 5 times. I was pissing myself. Just
that guy flying in the sky.
It was like that. When I started watching, I was like, okay, he's just shooting a guy. The bullet's going through him. Okay, hides behind some barrels, comes out again, shoots at the guy again, and goes to reload, and in the reload anime, just this almost just like super casually slow, just a guy crouched down 5 meters off the ground, spinning around, moving from one side of the corner to another.
Here I go flying again. It was bizarre, hilarious but bizarre. But yeah, like you said, when you do get a game, and I do want to talk about the 2 different game modes that we've been playing, but team deathmatch it's great because you've got your classic run and pea shooter kind of shoot. You know, there is that element to it, which is what a lot of us COD players get taken the piss out of because you just run around and shoot. Right, but you can also, like, I've changed the way I play Call of Duty because of this game. Now I can slowly move around the map,
and you couldn't do that before.
You couldn't do that before. There are some amazing maps that they've mixed it up, so you can do a bit of sniping, and you can do a bit of crazy running around with a submachine gun, but in people's faces, you know, spraying your shit in their face.
Definitely the best map design I've played in Call of Duty for ages. Because even though I haven't bought one since Black Ops 1, so I've missed like 8 games in a row. No, that's a lie. We played more Advanced Warfare for 5 minutes. Even though I haven't bought them, I've still played every single one through trials, through going around a mate's house, through borrowing, whatever it is. And they've just lost that. And the biggest thing for me was a lot of people were saying they've gone down this path of like more boost, more jumps, more this, that, and the other. In fact, let me come back to that. Let me round my point off first. Is that this is the best map design ever. The fact that they've slowed it down, and you can take your time. It turns it into a completely different game, which I've got a lot of respect for. I just almost raised a point there and kind of stopped myself mid-flow. Is that they went down this route of more boosts in this and that and faster gameplay, and they changed the map design to accommodate for it. It turned into its own bastardized shooter because of its own thing that it was trying to achieve. And by a lot of people were saying, where do they go from here? They can't take boosts away. Everyone's going to be moaning that, I'd just love to be able to boost at that moment. I've not heard any of that. Just because they've taken it out doesn't mean that it's less of a game. It's just different.
I'm not being funny, but if during World War II you saw Nazis running along a 12-foot wall for about 100 meters while spraying bullets at people, we wouldn't have won that fucking war. I'm sorry. Well, that also raises my second problem with the game. There's only 2 problems. One, the servers are dog shit, and number 2, there's just these maps are amazing, they're beautiful, but there aren't many of them. And I feel like this is to accommodate maybe for a DLC. Like, you know, if you want more for your money, then you can buy more.
So, do you know if the map packs are going to be free in this? I'd imagine Call of Duty wouldn't be. I know a lot of companies are doing it now, but I'd imagine Call of Duty wouldn't want to get on that trend because of how much money it can make.
They have in the past given people free maps. I remember they did. Was it? I think it was possibly. Was it Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2? But there was one of them. They gave 2-on-2 maps. They were different maps, smaller maps.
Yeah.
They gave.
I'm talking about the map packs. The 4 DLC.
They're always DLC. That's why you buy a season pass. I think it was about £82.
Yeah, I just haven't researched it. That's all good because I know that like Gears of War free maps, but it's got a season pass because the way it packages it. Battlefront is free maps, but it's got a season pass because of the way that they package it. So I just didn't know with Call of Duty because I've not bothered to look. So yeah, Team Deathmatch, great. The progression system, once all the menus work, they've got rid of that stupid pick 10 million attachments. It's stripped down. Really, it's kind of still similar. You can get a lot of attachments and a lot of things to choose to get your class set up, but it's all about the UI. The way that you present something can either be palatable or not palatable. And they've fucked off the perks. They've replaced them with what are essentially perks, but they've again packaged them differently, so it's more palatable.
Well, you get one.
Yes, but those perks have 2 or 3 sometimes elements, and then you choose a division which has 4 air quotes perks attached to it. Again, the same thing. You end up with the same end result, but it's packaged in a way that's just so much more palatable than previous games.
Like the different divisions, they accommodate the practicality of that division. Say, for example, airborne, you've got a light submachine gun, you're carrying light equipment, so you run faster.
Yep.
You've got armored, so you carry a big, bulky machine gun and all sorts of equipment, so you run slower. That, for me, I thought was quite cool.
Yeah, if you notice, really, when you break it down, you've got classes, you've gotten rid of the perks, you've gotten rid of the boosts, you've got rid of the... Everything unlocks at certain ranks, which are easily obtained. They've basically taken the Battlefield formula and brought it into their own recipe.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And it's paid off for them, I think.
The only thing I'm going to miss is when I prestige, because obviously when you go level 1, 2, 3, 4, you get a different rank. You go up a rank every time, and then when you prestige, you get that silver star. But you get that silver star for the whole next 50 levels, and it's just kind of like, I want a new badge.
Yeah, stuff like that. I'm right there with you. I play these games to get the badges, as silly as that sounds. I want to know my rank throughout it. And I did that with Halo 3 as well, when they revamped the ranking system in that. And I used to just love going all the way up the ranks, because with that as well, you could fluctuate. You had like a lifetime rank, which you had a badge for, and then you had like a skill ranking, which was like how well you've done in recent matches. And that's what I used to play there. And it literally, ever since then, I've played these games to get badges, like my rank with badges. And I've played Call of Duty games before where I've hit prestige, and there's an achievement waiting for me as soon as I click prestige. And I'm like, no.
You know what we are? We're closet Boy Scouts.
Closet Boys, yeah. Want those patches for our backpacks. But talking about taking the Battlefield formula, the war game mode. I know we both...
it good for? Absolutely everything.
We got frustrated because we were getting mowed down at points, but holy fuck, I was not expecting a core. It goes to show, doesn't it, that if you can grow and you can change your game slightly, and you're like, you know what? Let's give you a game mode that isn't just team deathmatch or kill confirmed. It's like, well, now the reason why people play your game because of... Oh, give me 2 seconds. What was I even saying? So, yeah, the whole reason why people play these games is for the feel of the guns. Yeah, they like the move. I say like the movement. We've just spent 20 minutes bashing the boosty boost, but they like the fluidity of it. And then you take that and put it onto a game mode that is typically associated with like the closest competitive Battlefield, and it just makes this fucking awesome game. It's just the whole experience.
Like if you haven't bought this game yet and you want to know what war is like, so if you've ever thought to yourself, I wonder what it was like to be a Nazi and mow people down on a beach with a machine gun. You know those people in the bunkers, because that's what you get to do. And we were both doing it, and we were like,
is this tasteless?
Is this right? Is this right?
So our first game mode, there's like 3 tanks, and you've got to defend the tanks to the front lines. Then you've got to steal some fuel to keep them going, which is the second objective. And then once you've done that, the map opens up again to get the 1 tank that's remaining to the end. Or I guess maybe you can get more tanks. I don't know.
It was a rip off of that game you got me playing. What's that game?
It's like an Overwatch game mode. Paladins. I got you playing Paladins, which came out just before Overwatch. It's just an objective based game, and that's what I was thinking at the start. I was like, wow, one of those games, but playing as the Call of Duty mechanics. That's wicked. And then the second game kicks in, and I realised that, because I was thinking this before, I didn't say it to anyone or you. I was just like thinking, I wish they do like experience, like just for the gameplay element, be able to experience D-Day from the other side. And I was like, no, I don't even think I'd feel comfortable doing it, because like it's just in bad taste. But in a multiplayer mode, yeah, you're not stepping into those shoes. It's like it's a multiplayer game. It didn't feel wrong. But yeah, when I was like, Al, Al, we're on a beach. Oh my god, there's bunkers, and we're playing fucking D-Day. Well, there's a D-Day game mode. Oh my shit. And I was just like, oh, fuck me. The feeling on that was insane. Because they've got bots in it.
Yeah.
Call of Duty
AI bots.
doing like the Titanfall kind of thing. It was like, what the fuck? Again, they all die pretty quick. They're like the atmosphere builder. They're not there for the whole game. But that first 2 minutes, there's just like hundreds of bots running towards you, just like kill while you're on an MG.
It was drove me nuts as well, because there's me on a machine gun literally mowing motherfuckers down. Bah, 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 there's one. My wife sat next to me going, "Wow, you're killing so many people." I died, and it said I killed 2 people, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And obviously, the 2 people will be the computer player, the
actual
not
people.
the AI, actual people. So yeah, that confused me a little bit, but it feels so good, doesn't it?
I knew it wasn't going to do that since playing Titanfall, and as soon as I saw the 10 points pop up per kill, I was like, they're not real players. They're all running like they're zigzagging, but they're kind of not. You can tell when a play, because Call of Duty's got, you just see its engine has got that animation, hasn't it? Like you can tell if you're watching a clip of Call of Duty. You can tell which characters are what. But again, that moves on to one of 3 sections to the map, depending on how far they manage to push you. And from the other direction as well, that was like, we were like, oh shit, I'm not looking forward to being the allies for this one. And we just pissed it. We like just walked up to the bunkers, put the fucking detonators in the barbed wire, strolled up the ladders, fucking shotgunned everyone in the bollocks. I was like, yeah, we got the bunkers, on to the next, and then got slaughtered.
The last bit, you've got to take out 2 artillery guns, but I was getting confused as what we were doing. I thought we were meant to. I thought we were going to take them and then defend them. So what I did was the barbed wire fence that people have worked so hard to destroy, I rebuilt them.
Just like, Al, you're supposed to defend the bomb that we've planted on the AA guns, not the fucking defend it by the fact that they're going to start spawning behind us. They're not doing the beach landing, you dip fuck.
I got an achievement for it though, rebuilding the fence. So
yeah, well done. I'm glad you got rewarded for making everyone's life more difficult.
Died.
Yeah, we lost that in the last like 20 seconds. I wonder why. Maybe we got caught in the barbed wire. But yeah, it's just we've not played zombies yet, which we need to do.
But we played a bit of the campaign though. The campaign is immense. Oh fuck me, it's so good.
It is. Yeah, go on.
I've recorded. I recorded the beginning bit on the boats on the way to the beaches, and I recorded the train crash as well. I think we should put that on the site, unless it's gonna that might ruin it for people though.
Yeah, don't put any spoilers.
No, but there are some amazing moments, like when you're on that boat and you're heading towards the beaches. A bit like Saving Private Ryan, but you can just look around. You can look around in between those scenes, but it looks amazing. The uniforms look wet. There's details and so forth. You could see the stitching on the badges and stuff,
Yeah.
And you could feel the terror, and very much like Saving Private Ryan, it just turns into chaos, and it's awful, but brilliant. Brilliant because it feels so real.
Yeah, they did a good job of not having like this big super villain. They just followed history, and they delve into like the interactions within a squad, like tension. There's blockbuster moments which are so over the top with there's a train scene which I won't go into if you've not played it, because a lot of people don't go into the campaign straight away on Call of Duty, so I won't ruin it. There's a bit where you've got to make a rescue out of a building, which is tense as shit. There's a plane bit which is you lose a lot of control over your plane. It's a very like Call of Duty does a vehicle moment. Which I think everyone will kind of get, even though that's very vague, but they just nail it. It's like the most cinematic dogfight scene I've ever played. I was like, my jaw was on the floor. Like, this is so fucking cool. It's just flat out brilliant. The writing, the voice acting,
you got your guy out of Transformers. He's in it, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, I don't know his name, but
Sergeant Daniels or something like that in Transformers. O'Donnell. O'Donnell.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, no, if you haven't played it and you're kind of put off by, oh, it's just a Call of Duty title, don't be put off by that. This is completely different. This is a throwback, and it will give you the same vibes if you're sort of like our age or any older, of when you played Medal of Honor for the first time and thought that was amazing. This is the first game that's come close to doing warfare justice like that. It is genuinely insanely good.
It's riveting.
That's from someone who has vetoed Call of Duty for years, has still played them, but hasn't bought them, and thought they were all shit. Honestly, this is just phenomenal.
I didn't play all the campaign on Black Ops 3 because Black Ops for me is a bit fucking weird. Like, 1 minute you're in fucking World War II, the next minute you're in fucking Vietnam, the next minute you're in fucking... It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy for me and a bit strange, you know?
Yeah, they got slated for that. Like, it was a clusterfuck of a campaign. Literally, it wasn't just that you didn't enjoy it. Black Ops 3 was flat out a clusterfuck of a campaign.
Yeah. So anyway, let's stop sucking Call of Duty's dick, because we want to give people... we're going to start spoiling it, but all I'll say is, if you're not used to Call of Duty, if you're one of these fanboys that prefer Battlefield to Call of Duty and whatever, just give it a go. You might enjoy it, you know, because they've made changes for the positive, and I don't care. I mean, I like Battlefield and I like Call of Duty. I like one to relax, and well, I say relax, but Battlefield, I feel like you need to use your head a bit more. Call of Duty is one of those where you can just kind of chill with your mates, and it's sociable as well. I mean, every time I've played, I've got you to play with, or I've got our buddies, or even my wife. You know, she loves cards, so it's great. You know, so give it a go. Don't be a baby.
Yeah.
And you've actually got the lucky enough to experience and play the new Battlefront, haven't you?
Yeah, it's awesome. The campaign is... it's a DICE game. They never have the best campaigns, and I'm not getting on the DICE doesn't have great campaign bandwagon. It's not amazing. I've had the HDR keeps fucking up for me, so it kind of ruins. Like, there's a bit you see it in the trailer where the Death Star blows up. The sky was bright white for me because the campaign, the HDR kept messing up, so I didn't even witness that. So I don't know what's going on with that, whether a lot of people are experiencing it, but I managed to go back into it last night and it wasn't playing up. It's a looker, I'll say that. They've introduced a roll into it where you can roll out the way, which is great for you, but it kind of makes hitting people a little bit more difficult. I don't know whether I'm enjoying going against other people with that ability, or whether I'd want to sacrifice my own ability not to have it so that it was a bit more straightforward. I'm still gauging whether it's a good thing or not. I think it is good. But I put out a video looking at the beta, and I was like, again, this is going back to what I said about Call of Duty, where you can present something in a certain way and it can be smoke and mirrors. It's the same thing, but it's presented in a really nice way. So you've got the story, great. This one's got a campaign now. You've got the multiplayer, wonderful. You've got all the map packs that are going to come in time and flesh out the limited areas. But the arcade bit, which I was most looking forward to, because Star Wars Battlefront to me isn't a go online and try and compete to win game for me. It's sit down, destroy as many droids or stormtroopers as I can, and go to bed. It's a casual game for me. So I was really looking forward to the idea of being able to play all this stuff offline like I did with PS2 and create playlists and stuff like that. Mate, there is one game mode which is Team Deathmatch. The maps are a lot smaller than I thought they'd be. You go on Camino, the cloning facility, and you go outside and it looks incredible. But you can't go any further than like 10 meters outside. That's the end of the map, and it goes turn back to the battlefield. And there's 5 game modes, and there's 5 locations and 2 game modes: Team Deathmatch, and basically you've got 2 minutes to kill 50 people. Every time you kill someone, you get 2 extra seconds or something like that. So it's kind of like adding time to the clock to defeat as many people, and it's like this dumbed down version of survival. So you look at the offline game modes and there's less than in number one. And people were complaining about that, and the way they present it, it makes it look, they tap into that nostalgia presentation of, oh, this is like Battlefront 2 from the PS2. You've got all this offline shit, which you couldn't see in the beta, and you get into the menus in this one, it's like, you just absolutely just smoke and mirrored it. There is less content in this than there was in the first one. They've got all the... Yes, they've got droids and clones now, and they've got the First Order and the Rebellion and Resistance. So it's not just the Empire era.
So they've gone for like a broader,
they've broadened
nostalgia feed.
They've broadened it out, but at the same time, they've not stepped as far with it. It's really odd how they've got more content but less. I'm glad that the map packs are all going to be free. This is going to be one. I was going to be day one on this, and I've played it on EA Access. So if there's any PlayStation guys listening thinking, "Oh, the fuck you played it? It's not out yet." You get it early with EA Access, which you're going to get soon, hopefully. I would really. I don't want to discourage anyone from buying anything because I don't like doing that. This is a wait. This really is a wait. You're paying for the service. EA is still getting your money if you buy EA Access. Wait for it to hit the vault, because it's not all there again. It's literally a repeat of number one. And you know me, I was hyped to fuck on this. I was like, yes, this is going to be the game. I was more hyped for Battlefront than I was Call of Duty. But I'm just a bit disappointed. I'm never one to sit there and go, oh, it's not got the content. Because if the game's good, the game's good. And it is. It's fantastic. The gameplay's solid. But I was just disappointed because I was expecting, when they put the trailers out, when you played the beta, for example, it's like you had the guy who plays Finn doing the voiceover, and he's like showing all the graphs. We've got all this extra content, and it literally had a bar chart of this is how many was in Battlefront 1, this is how many is in Battlefront 2, and it's like 5 times the amount of stuff. But it doesn't launch with that.
No. Do you think it's going to be a cash grab for EA, or do you think that because with the maps being released for free, they're gonna give everyone everything for free? Because I don't think so.
No. So the way they've done that, and this is the way a lot of people are going, is that maps are free because every time you release a map pack that's paid for, you lose 50% of your audience, and that is an incremental 50%. That is not over like each time. It's like the first map pack you lose 50%, the second map pack you're down to 25% of the first amount, then the third map pack you're down to 12.5% of the initial player base. That's not good for business, so they keep that 100% running, but then they offer the whales, people who want to buy stuff, extra content, the microtransactions.
Yeah.
And that's how they make their money. So I wouldn't say it's a cash grab. The end product is going to be fucking fantastic, I can tell you now, because the game is there, the core game. It's just, I wanted more. And it is a me problem, I guess, because most people could just be happy with online multiplayer. I just wanted them to flesh out that offline. It's like they've removed survival, which, why? You already had survival set up. Just throw it in there. It's an extra game mode.
Does it need it though? Does it need the offline mode? Because I remember like Titanfall, everybody was slagging Titanfall off for have no offline modes, but it was one of the most successful games ever. I mean, it was an amazing game.
Yeah, for me, it's more about Star Wars is one of those unique properties to me that it's like I just want to slaughter stormtroopers or droids or something. I don't want to die every kill, because I'm not great at shooters. Like I like my Halo. I'm pretty decent at Halo, and I can have some good matches on Call of Duty, but generally I'm not very good at my shooters. Some games I just want to sit back and relax with. And Battlefront was always, it represented that, and it's just got shoehorned back into an era of it's all about online now, so that's what we're doing. Fair enough, I get that. I hold my hands up. I can't blame them for it, but at the same time, I'm like, come on, why aren't space battles in offline? Why isn't there the survival mode? Why isn't there? Why have you not got conquest in this whole fucking game? You've still 2 games, and you've still not got the fucking conquest mode where you've got points on a map to hold.
Yeah, it is bad. I mean, if that's what the fans are asking for, they should deliver, really, because look at Call of Duty, for example. They've given the fans what they want, and everybody seems happy. So,
Yeah.
what I was going to say was, I miss them bringing out like games of the films. I mean, Star Wars Episode 1.
I don't.
Star Wars Episode 1 was great. Just running around with your lightsaber, bam, 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 bam. Taking out droids and shit. Like, it was good. You do the missions and you do the levels. But running around with a lightsaber is pretty fucking badass.
Yeah.
But the problem is with people online. I mean, I do feel your pain because, like, I think Star Wars specifically will get the hardcore geeks, the hardcore nerds, the ones that are just like born for this shit, you know? So someone like me, I'm genuinely not brilliant at COD. I'll have the odd good game, but I'm not good. So if I went on Battlefront, I'd just get owned. I'd just get fucking owned. I'd get sent back to fucking Jedi school because there's people out there that are just born for it. Like I said, this comes natural to them. So
yeah,
it'd be nice if you could relax and not get so frustrated. So I do feel your pain.
Yeah, that's the thing. So it's not like you die every 2 seconds. You can get some streaks. You can have some cool moments. But I don't know. It's just that casual nature of being able to sit down and being able to pause a game halfway through. It's that concept of can I pause my game, or do I need to sit here for 40 minutes and dedicate an evening to it?
Yeah.
Because I've only got an hour and a half per night to play. You know what I mean? So, but generally, I got that for free. I also got, well, no, it's not for free because I've paid for EA Access, but EA Access at the moment, I just wanted to bring this up just briefly. It's coming to PlayStation, hopefully. And it's going to be amazing if that one subscription straddles devices, because then I can start playing with other people on games because they would come across with it. £20 a year. What can you? I give you £20 and say buy a game with it. You're walking out with an indie that's had a disc release, or you're buying some DLC. You can't get a full game for that.
Or Cuphead.
Cuphead would be worth it, but also then you'd have to buy some fucking Xanax or fucking something like that to calm you down. Yeah. For my last £20 in the last month has got me the full title of Mass Effect Andromeda, a 10-hour trial into Battlefront 2, a 10-hour trial into the new Need for Speed. Don't touch it; it's a pile of wank.
I said this from the beginning.
It saved me £50, and a 10-hour trial of The Sims 4. And like whether you're into that or not, it doesn't matter. It's still, if you're into a broad spectrum of things, it's still. I've had more gameplay time out of £20. I could buy half of a FIFA game for that. So if you don't have EA Access and you have access to buy EA Access, buy EA Access. Honestly, such good value. Seriously, it's just one of those things that, yes, it's supporting the industry going down a certain path, which some people might not like, but if they can achieve that in a profitable way, then you are the only you benefit from that.
And do you know what? I was listening to Garrett and Justin's podcast a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about what was it last week? I lose track of the days. They were just talking about Resident Evil, and it got me thinking. Do you know what? Sometimes you do need to switch off. You do need to have those moments where you can just be on your own, playing a game together. Resident Evil's a perfect example of that, where you can just slowly work things out.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, you can buy things just for the offline mode as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Call of Duty and Star Wars isn't anywhere to go for that, because Call of Duty, the campaigns are usually really short. There's not a lot you can do offline unless you.
The thing is, this is what I'm on about. Is Call of Duty has all of those game modes available offline, every single one.
Yeah.
Why can't Battlefront do it? Being as its core inheritance was that. That's what people were looking forward to.
Yeah.
And it's like if Call of Duty's had it since Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah, where you can just
they're just we've got the maps, we've got the game modes, we know the AI, shove it in there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, that's enough of a Call of Duty Battlefront EA Access rant.
Should we talk about the big story in the say movie. I mean entertainment world, and that's with Disney at the moment. Fucking Disney, motherfucking with their big, massive Mickey Mouse dick. Fucking hell, man. We're hearing stories about them. Hopefully, is it Fox they want to buy?
20th Century Fox. Yeah.
They want to just buy them. How the fuck do you buy 20th Century Fox? Just like, god bam, you know?
You know how they buy it? With motherfucking cash. Just rock up with an Arctic truck. Or just, do you mind them in ones?
I mean, this is it's all speculative, of course, because we haven't heard anything official. But it's, I mean, these things come from somewhere, don't they? You know, they just materialize. That haven't.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
But the thing is, right? There's got to be more to it than just X-Men, you know, and Fantastic Four. Like 20th Century Fox are responsible for so many fucking classic movies. I mean, do they buy that all of it, or do they just buy the rights for them? I don't know how it's going to work.
So,
I mean,
to my understanding, 20th Century Fox is like the. There's so many more terminologies that I'm into, like the gaming side of things. I don't know how it all works with the movies, but I know you've got licensing, you've got publishers and distributors. I don't know what they fall into, but I think they own certain things, and then I think they either publish or distribute certain things. Whether that the term publish and distribute in the movie world is the same thing. I don't know. But I think they have a lot of things that you will have seen 20th Century Fox on, and they don't own it. So I think for Disney, the ownership of being able to have the whole of the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and or the other bits and bobs that they have around the Marvel thing that aren't being utilised, I think that would be enough. I really do. Because they buy all that. I mean, it's got to be in the billions. That acquisition has got to be.
Yeah, of course.
With
I mean, they bought Marvel for was it 4 billion, something like that? They bought. Wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
sounds a lot, but it's not in the movie world.
Yeah,
you know, considering what was it? The Avengers made $1 billion in the box office herself.
Yeah, I mean, they could take and reboot the X-Men in 5 years' time. And they could make their money back in 2 films. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that big money for them. It would look it for us, but I bet you they could quite on what they gain. But then, are they going to dissolve them? Are you going to still see that logo, or are you going to see Disney at the start of everything?
If I don't hear
that brand value,
if I don't hear that before a movie every now and again, I'm going to go insane. That's my youth. I've grown up with that shit. Like, they can't take that away from me. Fuck you, Disney.
I felt the same way when over here. I don't know. You probably didn't have it in America, but here in Britain, when you went to the theatre, you had this weird start that was an anti-piracy thing, where it was someone in this dungeon with this branding thing, and he'd be putting the brand in these holes, and then he'd stamp the screen. Used to shit me up as a kid, but I missed it when it went. I feel I'd feel the same if I didn't hear that.
Yeah. And it's the same as well. I mean, we don't hear the Dolby sound anymore, but do you remember that? Or was it HS? What was it called? THX or something like?
Oh god! Do you know why they got rid of that? Because so many people pirated DVDs back in the day, and that instead of that noise going, it went. You could always tell when someone was watching a fake copy because that sound would be fucking all over the place.
Oh my god! Oh, that's James jacking off. That is. Anyway, back to Disney. Right, so this is like it's really good shit. Like, I mean. I really do feel
there's your in-depth intake into the whole Disney thing. Really good shit, mate. Really good shit.
It's really good. No, I think it's great because we were talking about this like in our first podcast or something. You know, bringing the whole Marvel universe together. They're not going to reset the MCU. They're not going to do that. So they'll have to find a way to put them in somehow. And you know what? Like, can you imagine all the Avengers versus the X-Men? Oh, they wouldn't do it. But
do you know what? Do you know what? All they have to do is get Hugh Jackman to appear in Infinity War as Wolverine, and that movie will sell 500 million more.
Yeah, it would.
The logic is that simple.
Do you remember the original? It was one of the first Spider-Man games for the PlayStation, and it was like a surprise. You start off and there's Spider-Man talking to Beast. And I was like, whoa, that makes sense. Like Peter Parker, he likes his science. Beast is really clever, and they both got superpowers and stuff. How cool is that? So yeah, they could just do anything with it. Like when they own the X-Men, they could literally put them in anything. So yeah, it's great, but it's also a bit worrying to have everything under one umbrella. Do you not think? Because
why do you say that?
Well, because then Disney own those things, and there are so many different fan bases for so many different things that Disney are going to own, and then they're not going to make everyone happy. But they have the be all and the end all of everything that they create. Then I guess it's just movie rights, right? They're not talking about comic books or anything like that. It's just the movie rights.
Well, the thing is that when you own an IP, you've got to remember that while Disney is the parent company, is that Marvel is still in its own ways acting independently, but they've just got to have everything signed off. So it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to start seeing Mickey Mouse in Deadpool comics. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's still everything.
He's going to Super bar fight. Hi, Batman.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Sorry, that just killed me.
So, like, there's certain things that they're just not gonna fuck with, and they're not gonna start messing about with. I don't even worry about that kind of stuff. I think it's just so that they've got sort of that end say on things, and also just the ability at the moment. They can't put same example. They can't put Wolverine in Infinity War. Why can't they do that? Because of fucking some licensing thing that is the result of just completely crazy and stupid negotiations, and it doesn't make sense. Like, just get everything in house. And you've got to say, like, Star Wars, the Disney Pixar, Disney classics, there is nothing that they're messing up at the moment. Disney are killing it when it comes to the actual quality of what they're putting out.
They are, and I think that's because they know that's a way to see. If they don't please the fans, they lose a lot of money, don't they? And once they lose a lot of money, then they have to sell the products on again. So it makes sense.
Disney now, they are not this fucking Winnie the Pooh, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella company anymore. They are full on. They're fucking giants. They're up there with some of the biggest companies in the world for their own reasons. What do you think about in fact, let me just pause there 2 seconds. What do you think about the streaming services? Have you read anything into this? Can you educate me? Because all I know is they're doing one and it's going to be cheap.
Again, it's speculative, right? So I've read a lot of stories about possibly Netflix losing Daredevil and Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, all them programs that Marvel put under Netflix. I've recently heard that might not necessarily be true, but I mean, the whole idea of Disney opening up their own streaming service and going, yoink, that's ours, thank you very much. But if you watch at the beginning of every one of these programs, it does say Netflix original as well, because that was created by Netflix for Marvel. Yeah, so that makes sense. So I don't think that they're going to go from Netflix very soon. And if they do, if Disney opens up their own streaming service and then puts all that shit there, it's just people aren't going to buy Disney. They're just going to stream it on there. They're going to download it, and that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, people do it already.
It doesn't make sense for them to do it now. That's the problem. If I was Disney, I would basically say, these are the plans. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's the news is broke that someone has said, okay, these are the plans, and they've gone, oh shit, this is happening. Yeah. I would let Punisher come out. I would do season 2, 3, whatever of whatever needs to happen, and wrap it all up some way. So, the hand gets destroyed, and everyone goes off into the sunset. Then bring everything back over, and they can redo everything. It doesn't make sense to be like, okay, we're all excited for Punisher. Where are we going to watch it? Is it going to get released? What's going on? It just doesn't make sense, because if it happens after the Punisher gets released, and then that's it. There's no new, there's whole story arcs that are completely unfinished.
Yeah, there are. And do you know what? I feel sorry for. I mean, these guys are rich anyway, so like, I shouldn't feel too sorry for them. But Netflix have lost a lot of money. Don't know if you read. They've lost like billions.
Oh, their brand value has got to have fucking plummeted.
Yes, and so they're having a real tough time. And then for this to be going out around their shows, and then also for Disney to be like, well, yeah, you know the $10.99 fee that you pay for Netflix, ours is going to be considerably cheaper.
Yeah.
Straight for the jugular, like they grab them by the bollock hairs.
What does that mean? Not just for Netflix, though. Does that mean Now TV isn't going to have its Disney section that has 100-odd classics and Pixar's, and they've got all the Marvel stuff, and they've got Star Wars. Notice Star Wars has been going off film by film from Now TV.
Yeah,
we're down to episode 7 in Rogue One, and it had all of them before. Yeah. Are they going to pull everything?
Yeah, I think so. And there's also rumors of them making a live action Star Wars series. Like, what the fuck?
I thought the live action Lord of the Rings series was going to be like the best thing ever. But if they could do it with Star Wars, fuck.
But is there this is what I question I really wanted to ask you. I know we got to do this in 2 bits and you need to get off, but is there such thing as too much Star Wars?
No. That's like turning around and asking someone if you can have too much sex.
No, I think
like, okay, maybe it's going to get sore after a certain point, but
no, I think you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. That's your opinion. That's really rude of me to say, but I think there is.
It's all right. I completely insulted you last week and said that you've got shit opinions and no one should listen to you. So I can live with that.
People shouldn't listen to me. That's the whole reason I do a podcast. Fuck you. No, but I do. I think, okay, so imagine you have Christmas every single day. Yeah, it's not as special anymore. You go out for a nice slap-up meal to a nice restaurant every single night. That isn't special to you anymore. You know, I do feel like there is going to be a time when we're just going to be not fed up of Star Wars, but it's going to become the norm. It's always a special occasion when there's a new Star Wars coming out, whether it's a Star Wars game like Battlefront, whether it's a film, or whether it's fucking Monopoly. Do you know what I mean? It's always like exciting.
So here's the thing on that. You can sit there and be indecisive forever. You can sit there and go, do you know what? We'll leave it there. We'll only have new films. Eventually, people are going to get sick of it anyway. Everything ends. Even Star Wars is going to be a point where there's no more, people just aren't interested in it. Why not make as much content now as you can? Because then, once that's done and that's not making any money anymore, new IPs have to fill the void. It then creates this power vacuum where something else can come up. It's like when, for give you an example, when Game of Thrones finishes, something's going to have to take its place.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the idea of having a live-action Lord of the Rings series is plausible. You know what I mean? So, okay, yes, I get your point. And you really hit the nail on the head with, you know, Christmas. If Christmas it was every day, it's not as special. Yeah, I wouldn't want... I'd be devastated that moment where I go into the cinema and I see those credits start coming up the screen telling us the story of the episode 12, and I'm like, yeah, that music doesn't give me that chills anymore. Then yes, I get you, but everything's going to end one day anyway, so just fucking give me Star Wars.
You do realise as well, a lot of nerds and geeks will be listening to this eventually at some point when we hit the big time. So us being like self-proclaimed nerds and geeks, you sitting there saying that it's like me turning down sex. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And if you do turn down sex, you become the super geek on that level. Yeah. They'll aspire to be you in a situation where you have that choice to make.
Yeah.
But no, we'll see. I mean, we've got Star Trek. Star Trek's just, been rebooted and as a series, and that's delightful. It's really good. So, I mean, I'd watch it. Of course I would. And I might even get the Disney stream. I mean, I want to watch how it is first and see what's on it.
Yeah.
Because, if it's every single thing that Disney's ever released, then that's a bargain.
Yeah, and who says it has to stop there? Are they going to then start doing their own original series? Is the original Star Wars series going to be on there? Are they going to have new Marvel stuff on there? Are they going to have?
I just thought a live action X-Men series.
Exactly. Stuff like they can do. They can do all sorts of stuff. So they're in a position at the moment where it's going to be like, you know how you have PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. They can be in this situation where you're going to have Now TV, Netflix, and the Disney. They can be that third one there. You've got HBO Go, you've got all these other ones that do it, but they've got one or two shows. They don't have like a full fucking platform, if that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, I think there's room for a third person. I hope Disney kind of don't just go, well, here's all of our content as we make it. I hope they go, right, we've created this platform. Now we're going to give you an X-Men live action show. We're going to give you the Star Wars thing. We're going to put all the Clone Wars stuff up on there. Yeah, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope
the only upside I'm thinking, well, not the only upside. One of the upsides is that we're licensing. Netflix struggles to license things, which is why we have such a small version of Netflix compared to places like America and Canada. Whereas Disney own it, so they can just release it wherever they like, hopefully. Yeah. So I don't want to have like half the fucking content that you have in America like we do in Netflix. Yeah. And maybe that's a lesson that Netflix needed to learn, you know?
Yeah, and what I was saying this yesterday, wasn't I, when we were talking about it briefly, it's going to drive Netflix down. They're going to lose 5 or 6 of their top shows, and they're more expensive. Something has to give, and the only thing that can give is that price tag.
And they've already evolved once, because it was Love Film before, wasn't it? And Netflix bought them. Because Love Film was...
Is that where Love Film went?
Yeah, Love Film.
Or was that Now TV? Who bought?
I think that's Amazon now, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, I think it was a case that Netflix was a DVD service where you could order it and it'd come to your door and then you'd post it back. And nobody uses DVDs anymore. Nobody rents DVDs. So they had to adapt it into becoming what it is now. And so they've already made that change. Yeah. They've already made that step forward, and now they're going to end up being, I think they're commendable just for doing that. So it would be a shame to see Netflix go.
Yeah. And I don't want them to lose too much money, because if that results in a drop in quality, I would rather keep paying that same price tag. But I think they make so much money that should not be an issue.
Yeah. Well, you know, hopefully not. I mean, I've got the idea. I want to do a Netflix show. I'd like to do like a standalone channel where we could just talk. Like, I mean, like, you know, we've got all the big things like Stranger Things and all the big programs, Orange is the New Black, all these amazing programs that people watch. But there's also the really small, obscure movies and films that people haven't watched. Maybe somebody could do like a show and talk about that sort of shit. I thought, who better than me and you? So
no one is more qualified in the whole world
than me and Jimmy.
Right. What next?
Taika Waititi. Can I just really just talk about him for a sec? I've mentioned it on last week's show how much I am in love with this guy. After watching Thor Ragnarok, and then watching a few of his interviews, I realized this guy he's got a beautiful mind. So I wanted to go and watch another one of his movies. I wanted to see how, you know, Thor is just a huge blockbuster. I wanted to see what else he directed. So I watched Hunt for the Wilder People, which is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Not knowing what the hell I was going in for. I just literally clicked it. And actually, as I clicked it, I remember seeing the picture, and it's actually one of the highest rated movies on Netflix. And you know what? Within the first 30 seconds, I was crying with laughter. It was so good. And what I got from this is that this guy has got a brilliant sense of humor. And he puts that onto paper and on screen in the most perfect way. His joy and his happiness, it resonates really well in movies.
Yeah.
This movie, Hunt for the Wilder People, I would absolutely recommend anyone to watch it. It's set in New Zealand. It's about a kid who's in foster care. He's been moved around houses, and he moves to a farm in the middle of nowhere. and it's basically his struggle to kind of fit in and things, and then things happen. I don't want to ruin it, but it's really good. It's got Sam Neill, from Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
He's in it, but he's absolutely unrecognizable. He deserved an Oscar for that movie. It's 2016, this movie. It's not like a new thing, but he definitely deserved an Oscar for that. He had the New Zealand accent. He had the big beard, and you couldn't tell it was him. It was really, really good. So the next one on my list from Taika Waititi is What We Do in the Shadows. It's like a vampire comedy set in New Zealand.
Everything's in New Zealand.
It's in New Zealand, man. So yeah, Taika Waititi. I guarantee he's going to be. He's already done amazing things with Thor, but he's just going to be a household name, isn't he? Now, after what he's done. So
yeah.
And I actually looked at all his. I was one of these saddos that went and looked on all. On IMDb, it tells you all his awards and things. I clicked on it, and the guy's won like 80 odd awards around the world from film festivals, Sundance, Cannes, all the ones around the world. He's won awards for all sorts. So
yeah.
Taika Waititi, my bitch, I love you. So yeah, cool. And of course, Korg. Korg was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best.
I wanted to talk about. Have you heard about this upcoming Nightwing movie?
No, you said it to me before, but I kind of I've not read much into it. So if you want to kind of go into that, then go for it.
Yeah. Well, obviously, most people know, but obviously, Nightwing is Dick Grayson, which is Batman's first Robin. And when he gets too old to be Robin, he kind of moves and does his own thing and becomes Nightwing. He carries batons around, he jumps around rooftops like Batman does, beats the crap out of people, but he's he's awesome. I love Nightwing, and they've decided they're making a movie. And they've decided, I think it's been rumored that they're going to start casting, and there was a little bit of noise about a guy called Zachary Montgomery who played Billy in the Stranger Things.
Okay.
He's the guy with the big hair who's horrible to his stepsister and smokes his cigarettes, and he's a bit of a bully. But he actually played a perfect role in that. He was kind of both likable and hateable at the same time.
Yeah.
And he has been quietly rumored to be up for Nightwing role, and I just think that's a really good move. He looks like him.
Yeah,
he's
he
charming.
does, doesn't he? That's the thing. He's the same. You know how some people just get not typecast in the sense that that's what they've done previously, so they always go for that role. Just in the case of, what, you look like him, you're going to do as good a job as anyone, so it kind of makes sense. Almost like you're kind of born to be that person. He is one of those people in the same way as, like, retrospectively, you couldn't imagine anyone else but Elijah Wood as Frodo. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's going to be that kind of person, I think. So yeah, no, it's that would be a good move. As long as it's better than Power Rangers. I don't want it to be like Power Rangers, but instead of the Red Ranger, he's the Black and Blue Ranger.
No,
it needs.
This is DC.
Yeah,
this is going to be a full-on DC.
You're not proving my point, mate. We could still have a dancing Megazord.
I think. I've read a lot of Nightwing, and you know what? The first bits of the New 52 was actually quite hard. He's had a really horrible life, and it doesn't stop. Once he becomes Nightwing, it carries on. All these things that affected him when he was younger keep popping back into his life. And of course, the guy that's responsible, I don't want to ruin it saying names, but like the guy that's responsible for killing his parents, Batman won't let him kill him. He won't let him take his vengeance out on him, because obviously that's Batman's code. So it eats him alive. So yeah, it's a great story if they do it properly. So watch this space. It might not even happen. Fuck's sake. We're having a Gambit movie last year, then we weren't having it. Now we're having it again.
We were having it 5 years ago.
Yeah, fucking stupid. And do you know what? Going back to Stranger Things, I think anyone involved with the Stranger Things, from the youngsters, Winona Ryder, David Harbour's new Hellboy, anyone that's involved with that show has got potential to move on to bigger things. We've already seen Finn Wolfhard in it. So the world's the oyster, especially that Dustin lad. He's got so much spunk and charisma. Like, I think he could go on and do great things.
Yeah.
So that's my Hollywood wrap up. Anyway, I don't know if you got anything to add on that.
No, I'm pretty much. I've done loads of rambling throughout this whole thing. So no, it's nice to sit back sometimes and just listen to you nerd out about stuff that I know you like. So
waffle on.
Yeah, man. It's I know you love all that kind of stuff. So
you fucking love it. Yes.
No, it's good. Is it Dickhead of the Week time?
Is it that time? Week. Coming in your ear. Thors-Kin is here.
Nope.
Thors-Kin.
Just no. So we were chatting before the show. I have spent literally, I think, was it 2 days ago that I was like, oh, mate, I've got a wicked hero of the week. Got an awesome story. And then before the show, we were just like, oh, if you got your one, do you remember what it was? And I just drew a blank. I thought this whole thing, I haven't been able to remember what it was. It obviously wasn't that important. So you're gonna have to fill in for me, mate.
Well, I've got loads of dickheads. But I mean, I'm going to talk about. And look, I hate to bring him up because he is just always going to be there. But and people already know because by the time this goes out, they've seen on the Thors-Kin Facebook page. I posted up and I tweeted it. That Donald Trump, he wrote a tweet yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't know. I couldn't give a shit. But he wrote it, and it was something a 7-year-old would write. And he has been hammered all over Twitter because of it. Let me read this tweet out. This is the president of the United States of America, okay? Donald Trump. Why would Kim Jong-un insult me by calling me old when I would never call him short and fat? Oh, well, I try so hard to be his friend, and maybe someday that will happen. That is I don't know what that's the president of the United States talking to a dictator from North Korea. What the fuck is going on with this world? This is the world we live in right now.
Do you know what? Kim Jong-un just took that tweet and showed everyone in North Korea, and they were like, "Yes, we can win." It's just like that's just fucking ridiculous.
I swear to God, he must have banged about a gram of coke up his fat fucking nose and think, get on Twitter. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Do you know what? I think next time I walk into McDonald's, you got the stalls to the right that you've got like snakes and ladders on the table, and you've got the colouring books next to it, next to the twizzly bit that you put the 2p in and it swirls all around. But if you look over there, without knowing, you'll see Donald Trump and a bunch of kids all doing their colouring in. It's like,
and like there's his wife as well, Ivanka, whatever it is. Ivanka. She's getting involved with politics. Like,
yeah,
there are people that went to university for half a decade, if not more, to become politicians, to work hard to change their country, and then you got Ivanka Trump moving in their place. It just. Oh, I swear to God. There was something I put on Twitter as well the other day. I'm going to share. There was something I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember.
Well, on the bright side, I remembered mine.
Oh,
and it wasn't a hero of the week; it was a dickhead of the week. So, have you seen what Conor McGregor has been all over the news for?
Has been getting his dick out in his pants again.
No, just such a dick. Like I like the guy. I think he's brilliant. But you know how you got UFC? It's like an MMA licensing company basically. You've got all sorts of tiers in the same way as you've got WWE. You've also got TNA and whatever it's called, the older one.
Impact,
I don't know.
or something.
Yeah, something. And, well, you've also got below UFC. You've got a bunch there. One of them is Bellator. Is at least that's my understanding of it. That's the company. And there was a guy fighting there, and Conor McGregor was in the crowd. And basically, in UFC, you've got the press are at the front. and then you've got the VIPs behind them. Well, in Bellator, you've got the VIPs in front of the press. They try and give them that extra bit. So this guy wins, and literally within half a second, Conor McGregor is out of his seat, over the cage,
Octagon,
and is inside the octagon with celebrating with this guy. They know each other or whatever. It looks initially like he is attacking him, because he like almost spears him, celebrating with him. And the other guy, you can see from his face, like, what the fuck is going on? And then he realised who it is, and they start like screaming in each other's face and everything. The refs, because obviously it looks like someone's just gone in and attacked him, goes over trying to get him out of the ring, basically. And these bunches of refs are going back and forward, trying to just break everything up. He causes fucking chaos. It just goes mental. And then all of a sudden, because one of the refs sort of doesn't get in his face, but he pushes him away a little bit, and it's not even a proper push. Conor McGregor, like, just goes to push him, like, pushes him into the other guy who's on the floor still, who's just had 7 belts of shit smashed out of his face, knocks him over, and then they manage to get him out. And then apparently afterwards, I haven't seen footage of it, but he gets from the outside, goes back up from the outside, straddles the cage. The ref goes over again to get him off, and he slaps the ref upside of his head. And he's just causing fucking chaos at this Bellator event. And it's like, what the fuck are you playing at? So he is going to get absolutely beasted when he gets back. And Dana White is going to literally shove a fucking rocket up his ass. He's going to get, not that he can't afford it, but he's going to get fined to shit, and he's going to get banned for a while.
Do you think it may have been staged?
No. If you look at, you can watch it on YouTube, mate. It's a genuine. You couldn't. You could stage it, but you couldn't do anything about it if it wasn't. Therefore, I'm quite happy to believe it wasn't. Literally a split second, mate, and he's just in there, and you can tell from the other guy's reaction that it's like he doesn't know what's going on to begin with. It takes him like a second or two, and a second or two doesn't sound like a long time, but that's how quick it all is.
He's like, it's been a week since I've been in the paper. What can I do?
He's like to the rest, you'll do nothing. You'll do fucking nothing.
It's like, he likes to be in the limelight. He's had his fight and lost, and nobody's talking about him anymore. So he's thought, what can I do to get back in the limelight? That's all that is.
Nah, mate, he doesn't need to be in the limelight. He's got enough going on. But yeah, that I remember it now. So, yeah. Dickhead of the week is Conor McGregor. Usually my hero of the week, because he's a legend. I love him. He's such a character.
He does a lot. He does a lot for people, doesn't he? The small people.
Yeah, just generally he's helped elevate UFC, and I'm massively into my combat sports. So the fact that he's been like so instrumental in taking. Yeah, you've got like George St. Pierre and John Jones, who in the last 5 years have pushed it really, really far. But he has just been that 1 in 10 million kind of people that just he's like a Muhammad Ali kind of character for his own sport. He's not just at the top like Floyd Mayweather is. He's like going to be one of those legendary characters as well as being good. He's got the personality with it, so I just like the fact that he's done that for the sport, even if he can be a cock about it. But yeah, when you start doing, he's got something
to fall back on as well, isn't he? With WWE, I mean, if he does get fucked by the UFC at one day, or he ruins it for himself,
mate, he'll go into boxing before he does that.
Well, I don't know. He's getting on, isn't he? Well, I don't know. How old is he?
He's 26.
Oh, so he's not that bad. Yeah. He's fucking younger than me and richer than this whole fucking
country. And beat the shit out of you as well.
I'll slap his fucking head. Okay.
Yeah, move on before you get challenged.
It's that time again.
Super
fight. We need a jingle for that motherfucker.
No, that was good. That was professional as fuck. So I just want to do a superhero bar fight before we get into it. I'm putting Deadpool against Optimus Prime. So we're in a bar. Deadpool is sat at the bar drinking tequila and eating some chimichangas, and Optimus Prime breaks in, steps on him, squishes him, shoots him with his vaporizer cannon, and completely vaporizes him. So there's no trace of him, and Deadpool is no longer in the roster.
Yeah,
that
Okay.
happened. That just happened. So Optimus Prime wins. Do you want to go on to round 2? I was just sick of him coming up in the fucking thing.
If you grab Deadpool, stick him in between his ass cheeks, and just clap them together.
Yeah, just mush.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you want to do your magic number thing?
Yeah. So 18
Yep.
versus 6. 18 versus 6 is. 18 is Bane.
Oh.
6 is Iron Man. Why do we always get the same ones?
Do you want to choose a different one other than Iron Man? We've
18.
literally just done a big main event with that one.
18 versus 4. Bane versus Spider-Man. That's a good one.
Oh.
That is a good one.
You wouldn't be able to break Spider-Man's back because he'd be so flexible. It'd be like trying to snap a Malwam in half, wouldn't it? He'd just mold.
I think he's that agile and that quick. I don't think, and Bane is really powerful but slow. I think he'd struggle to even get hold of him. And also, Spider-Man's got the height ability as well. He can just swing straight to the top of a building and just hit him in the face with web. In his face, you know.
Yeah.
Hot, sticky web in the face. Jump behind him. He can almost reenact the scene out of Spider-Man 2. You know, rip the plugs out of his back like he does with the wires in Spider-Man 2 and that, on the docks.
Do you think would the webs be able to hold Bane? We are going with like comic book Bane, who is far more powerful than Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah. Bane can get momentum, can't he? He can push forward at a quick pace, but after that he's kind of slow. So I think he'd have to be really lucky to get a good hit on Spider-Man. I think the reason why Batman and Bane are always like, it's always like a big good face-off is because they're both quite powerful, slow, kind of juggernaut type characters.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Spider-Man can just whip about him. He can literally keep going and going and going, and he can jump from one rooftop to another, and he wouldn't even need to restrain him with his webs. He could just hit him with web balls, bam, bam, one to the head, one to the head, one to the head. And then, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
you'd rip the mask off straight away. You'd tie the arms up to the sides of the buildings, or make him a straight jacket. You could put his legs in place. You could, it's not much of a matchup, is it? He's just too quick. It's like putting the Flash against anyone. You can't do any. It's his Achilles heel. Is that speed?
Yeah, and. Okay, so they're in a bar. Right. Bane's drinking some tequila at the bar, obviously,
and,
Mexican.
Spider-Man walks in, being all cocky and stuff, walks up to the bar, gets out some fake ID and orders a tequila, and Bane turns around and he goes, "You think you can order in a bar? You are simply..." No, I can't even do it now.
And then you will have my permission to drink. I reckon they start doing shots together. Yeah, they do shots, and then Spider-Man's not going to get pissed, is he? Let's face it. I don't know. Does he have the ability to get...
Would Spider-Man get... But I know Captain America doesn't really get pissed. Does he have the metabolism for it? Or yeah, he would. He'd get drunk.
He's a small... Yeah, I mean, but I suppose if Spider-Man is absolutely off his face because he's a 15-year-old boy...
That's a good point. They'd be celebrating with tequila, and Spider-Man would be all like... His spidey senses would be off.
Mm. Yeah, he would. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so... In a sense, where they're in a bar drinking together, Bane wins.
It is superhero bar fight. it isn't superhero.
Yeah.
What world would Spider-Man have an advantage in fight?
And the whole idea is to not really go down the whole boring route, swinging from rooftops and all that shit,
Yeah.
So
He would totally have this attack available to him at this time, so totally. So they're in a bar having tequila shots together. I think Spider-Man would get pissed, and
yeah.
I think, what would happen? What would happen? So, because Bane knows what he's gonna do, he's thinking, this little cocky prick is one annoying little motherfucker, so I'm going to smash the shit out of him. I'm going to get him a bit drunk, and then I'm also on that next tequila shot where he doesn't know what's actually going on yet, because I can handle my booze because I've got big fucking broad arms. He's going to take some of that green goo out of that thing on his back, and he's going to give it to... No, that's not a good thing. Can you imagine Spider-Man on
Venom?
On Venom. Irony.
Are we talking gay sex here? Peter. Sorry, I went that.
Why did you even go there?
Spider-Man on Venom. I just thought you were.
No, I meant as in
fantasy moment. Like I've told you about this before, James.
No, not on top of. On just taking. No, not taking.
All right, can we just have a serious conversation for 1 second?
Yeah, stop being so immature. We're trying to do a podcast about superheroes having a bar fight. Come on.
Spider-Man sucks the venom out of Bane.
I swear to God, Al, I wish I could go back and choose to do a podcast with someone who wouldn't convince the world that we are gay or something. You need to chill out with this shit.
You're just as bad. You talked about Wolverine finger fucking Jean Grey with his blade.
That would happen though. So shut the fuck up.
So Spider-Man on Venom would be awesome, wouldn't it?
He'd be better than Spider-Man. Venom suit, black Spider-Man, evil, annoying Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Oh, can you imagine if it was Tobey Maguire walks into a bar? Spinning around, doing his little jazzy pose. You know that bit where he actually walks into the door and comes out with like a suit on? It's that moment that he walks in, and instead of coming out with a suit, he looks black and blue because Bane's just beat the seven bells of shit out of him.
No, I think in a normal toe-to-toe fight, Spider-Man wins because he can just move around. In a situation where there's shot on tequila, Bane's a big guy. He's got a good metabolism. And he literally grabs the back of Peter Parker's head, smashes it off the bar, and then fucks the hole where his face used to be.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And, drinks his blood. Just wanted to take it dark for some reason. Don't know why, just wanted to go there. So, are we saying Bane wins, or are we saying bar fight, Bane wins? It's not, like I say, it's not let's meet out in the open. It's a bar fight.
It's not a showdown.
You've made sure you've gone out of your way to make sure everything takes place in a bar. You do keep saying it on the start. So we're in a bar.
We're drinking gin and tonic. Okay, so we're going to do another one because we said we'd do 2 this week. Okay, because we didn't do one last week.
Oh, what?
Right.
Optimus Prime and Deadpool didn't count. I was dead serious.
Nope. Fuck you.
Fucking triple bill. This value for money. This is.
Okay,
Don't
number
get this
16.
Shit anywhere else.
Number 16 is the Ghostbusters. Now,
fuck me. Please be against Wolverine.
Yeah, the Ghostbusters. Well, we're talking the original Ghostbusters, right? Not the.
Unless we've got the Powerpuff Girls as number 64, I don't think they're gonna win.
32 is you. You, James.
So I've got to sit down and say how I would beat the Ghostbusters.
Well, you did say the Powerpuff Girls. I couldn't think it was worse, but now I do.
For fuck's sake. After making that joke, now I've got to lose. I've got to be worse than the Powerpuff Girls. Right, so there's only one way you could win against the Ghostbusters. And I'd create holograms of myself we're in a bar, right? But I've got a hologram machine. So they've got fucking jetpacks and what are they called?
Fuck you.
What
You.
What are the things called?
Proton packs.
Proton packs, that's the one. Jetpacks, fuck me. I'm not qualified to be on this show. Yeah, they've got the proton packs, but I've got a hologram pack. So I'm there. I'm not actually in the bar. I'm outside. I've put the holograms in place and walk in there and say, Bill Murray, no one cares about you anymore. And they all get annoyed and they all stick up for Bill Murray and they all start shooting their proton packs. But then I start moving the holograms about, and as soon as the streams cross, that's it. The streams can't cross.
Right, first of all, back off Bill Murray, right? Because he's a fucking hero of mine, right?
Oh yeah.
Second,
I'm only joking, Al. Chill out.
Second of all,
he's a treasured hero.
Second of all, there's one of you versus four of them without the proton packs.
Well,
now,
I've got holograms.
Got
holograms.
You haven't got holograms. You're not Doctor Strange.
I've got holograms.
You're not Loki. They're not like so. They bend you over the bar, right? They shove one of those proton packs up your ass.
You just got the beam coming out my mouth.
Do you remember those torches you had as a kid where you'd turn it on and then the mouth of something would open and then there'd be a torch inside? That's what you would look like with the proton pack coming out of your mouth from your ass.
A Jimmy-shaped proton pack torch.
Yes, that's exactly what you'd be. You'd look like, do you know the big battering ram out of Lord of the Rings with the dragon's head? That's what you'd fucking look like.
No, I'd win. I don't care what you say. I've got holograms and I cross the streams over and they all explode.
They'd speak to me beforehand. I'd ask them to do me a favour. They'd catch you in the little box and I'd just carry you around with me everywhere I go. And I'd just torture you. I'd be like, oh, look.
No,
I'm watching the new Star Wars and you can't see it because you're in a box.
No, I'd move out the way. I'd just be like, no, I've stepped out of the way, mate. Can't catch me.
I think we should have a vote on this. If anybody wants to, I'm going to do a poll.
You're going to do a poll?
I'll do a poll on Twitter on who would win out of you of the Ghostbusters. And I'm pretty sure we'd get a resounding Ghostbusters if anybody actually wants to take part in that shit. But yeah, we'll do a poll.
Why don't you do a Korean instead? Why is it specifically Poles? What about a Kazakhstani?
Oh, you're funny. You're funny.
So,
superhero bar fight.
I think I won all of that.
I
definitely won all of those superhero bar fights.
You can have a big fat medal for your big fat tongue.
Special boy. Do you know what I need to do? I need to insert. You've ever seen Grimsby?
I haven't yet.
Oh, you've not seen it? I can't do my joke.
It's evaded me.
Oh, I was going to say something really funny that won't be funny. Fuck you.
You're not funny anyway.
Oh, I am. I'm hilarious. People stop me in the street and say how hilarious I am.
Okay, so the show ended now. Show end. Let's do a bit of housekeeping.
See, 5 seconds of silence. So the show ended. People are going to be watching this just like, all right, thanks for letting me know.
You still here? Doug, you still there?
No, the show ended, guys.
Doug's dead. Okay, I just wanted to... what do I want to say?
I still can't get... So it's ended.
Show end. I was going to say, actually, with the opportunities that we've made, doing the show with Two Broke Geeks, and also we're going to do 2 shows with Sketchy Connection. They're going to come and talk to us, and then we're going to go on their show, which they said they're going to animate us and put it into a cartoon, which is great. But yeah, Two Broke Geeks, I just want to say thank you actually for considering us, because like they were like people I used to listen to when I first started listening to podcasts and shit. So to do a show with them would be a great honor. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I don't want to bore your asses. And as well, I'm going to work on the website as well soon and tidy it all up and get some downloadable episodes for you. So if you want to download, like, share on YouTube as well, give us some love, sweet love. And what's the matter with your face?
You. Fucking sick of putting up with you.
Fuck you, man.
Dick.
You just talking about how you create holograms and beat the Ghostbusters like you're fucking some sort of super villain.
Can you finish this up so I can beat someone else?
Gonna beat your dick more like.
No. I was on about a game on my console. Why do you always have to go there?
Because I've seen your internet history. That's why.
He's right.
Okay, guys. Have you got anything else to say, Jimmy?
No, I thought this ended 5 minutes ago. So I've been.
Well, the show ended. This is the prologue.
The We're gonna have an epilogue. Should we record an epilogue? I didn't do my joke.
Is it epilogue? Is it? I've got it the wrong way around.
Yeah, oh yeah, you dick. Yeah, we need to go back and do a prologue. I didn't get my funny out. We did a whole piece on COD without saying we're about to do our COD piece.
Oh God. Yeah. Listen, motherfuckers. Thank you for your love and support.
Yeah, man.
I've been Alex. He's been Jimmy. Thors-Kin signing out. Peace out, bitches.
Peace.
James is gay. I got that.
Goes ended, by the way.
He's still here.
Yeah, I'm still recording. It's gonna draw this out and make it really long.
Get a life, mate. Get it off. Get a fucking life, mate. Just
still going. Just end it. Should we end it there? Should we end it? What? What?
Yep, Doug's dead, mate.